The Ipukarea Society has an inspiring lineup of projects for 2025, ranging from biodiversity conservation to sustainable community initiatives. Here's a closer look at the key projects for the year, explained by Director of the Ipukarea Society, Alana Smith.
Conducted alongside the Muri Environment Care and Takitumu Committee, efforts to track seabird breeding activity in hilltops and mountainous regions on Rarotonga are underway.
Starting off with some of our biodiversity related ones, we're really excited to be doing more seabird monitoring work up within our mountains, our hilltop areas, to better identify whether breeding seabirds that activity is still happening within our hills, and if it is, what sort of species might still be breeding within our hills. And what are we trying to get as a result of this work is to put together an action plan to better identify what threats our nesting seabird species may have, what restoration efforts would be needed to better look after these breeding species, and come up with some community engagement strategies so more people can be aware of the benefits our breeding seabirds have within our hills, bringing new nutrients from sea to land, and helping with that natural cycle of improving our mountain interior. So that's a really exciting one that we're looking to get into.
The Ipukarea Society will expand its turtle monitoring efforts in lagoon and ocean areas around Rarotonga and eventually Mauke and Pukapuka.
We are looking to continue our turtle monitoring and awareness raising work using photos as a way of tracking individual turtle movements around Rarotonga, but also taking these surveys out to Mauke and potentially Pukapuka to try and collect a bit more of a database on what's happening in our Painua Islands with our turtle movements. So with this, it's an awareness raising program to talk more about what species we currently have here in the Cook Islands, what our nesting islands are for our sea turtles, and of course what threats they're currently facing and how best we can minimise those threats to our sea turtles. Our turtle monitoring project is funded by UNESCO, which is currently being facilitated from the Ministry of Education.
In collaboration with Cook Islands Family Welfare Association and funded by the New Zealand High Commission, the Ipukarea Society is restarting its reusable feminine hygiene campaign, Mainemura. The project last ran in 2021.
The last time we did this project, I believe, was in about 2021, so a while ago, which means some of our younger girls are becoming of age into getting their menstrual cycles. So being able to have more discussions about what this means and how to manage a woman's menstrual cycle through reusable products is what we're wanting to achieve through this campaign, and we are looking to roll this out to our senior students here on Rarotonga, and then next year do this project with Mauke and hopefully Pukapuka.
Building on the success of the geotextile sandbag pilot project in Avana at the end of 2020, the Ipukarea Society will extend coastal protection efforts to active community areas such as Akapu'ao.
So these sandbags are an alternative way to protecting our coastline as opposed to using mined rocks from within our mountain areas. This is a nature-based solution using sand, but also the use of native trees which you plant behind the geotextile sandbags. And with time, the sandbags will fail, as do the rocks, but when they do fail, it will release sand back into the beachside area, and hopefully by then the native trees in the back would have grown, holding and stabilising the area behind. So that's the idea of these coastal geotextile sandbags. We see this being a real benefit for our atoll islands. They have no volcanic rocks over there, but they have a whole lot of sand. So this is one way that our atolls in the northern group can protect themselves from the high seas or coastal erosion. So that is funded by the IRD, based out in France. So we're looking to work in Tikioki this year and hopefully Puka Puka next year.
Te Ipukarea Society continues to study the Rarotonga starling ioi, an endemic forest bird found only here in Rarotonga.
We've been fortunate to have the skills of our VSA, Volunteer Service Abroad, Rachel, to help upskill the society, the staff, and of course all volunteers who have helped Rachel out in the collecting of the e-ois movements around the TCA. That research work will still be continuing on into this year, as well as analysing the data to make better sense of the numbers that have been collected and then in turn the behaviours of the eoi, where they might be nesting, what they like to nest in, what is their preferred vegetated areas that you're likely to see the eoi in, and then in return how we can best look after those areas and make sure that we still have our eoi for many more years to come. So that's been a really great project that has engaged many volunteers throughout Rarotonga. So thank you to all those volunteers who have helped Rachel out. And finally, Te Ipukarea Society, along with our other sister NGOs, Kōrero o Te Oro and Ocean Ancestors, will continue on with our deep sea mining awareness raising efforts, relying on updated research that is coming through in terms of the risks and threats associated with mining this unknown environment of the deep, and that will of course continue on into this year as well.
This is Diri Winton for CITV News.